Race 4 on the card, the first leg of the pick 6, due off at 2 o'clock. It's a nice race. It's a pinnacle stakes over 1,700 metres. 9 runners carded to go to the gates. Before we get into analysing the race, let's hear from Nicolette Rusco, the assistant trainer to Dean Cannemare. She will saddle both numbers 1, Cap'n Pride, and 8, Mount Anderson. We'll also hear from Dennis Dryer's assistant trainer, Stuart Ferry, with regards to the chances of number 6, Caliente.
You know, he is a horse that he hasn't run for a long time. He's doing fine at home. You know, he is an older horse, and that's not always easy to find some races for him. So we did have a race for him about 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately we had all the rain at Greyville, so the race was abandoned. So I'm happy. It's the first time I think he's going the trip the 7, because they've moved the race now to a 1750. So he's going the trip. We're going to just give him a chance. He's well in himself and he's happy, but we'll just see how he goes.
No, he's well. I think you could be right there, but I think it's just, you know, the way the race has been run, they've been more on the poly than on the grass. But I think he probably is a little bit better on the poly. But he's obviously a nice horse to be a 5-time winner. So, you know, he's in that race. He'll be competitive. It's an open race, but you know, he's coming into the race well, and yeah, we expect a good run from him.
No, he is a lovely horse. You know, here at home, he's a horse that is always full of life. He's always squealing. He's got fun in him. Everything. You know, if you look at his form, the form is very solid. Everybody always thinks, oh, poly specialist 1400. But we've always opted to try and go the further distance, and every time it's rained and the race has got abandoned or the race has just been cancelled because there's not enough runners. So eventually we've got the trip on the grass. It is going to be a trip that he hasn't seen before, but I think, you know, he should see the distance.
Mount Anderson probably does represent the pick of the stable and a significant danger to number 7, Black Ball, who's the best weighted, but only by a narrow margin ahead of Black Ball's stable companion Marching On Together. Although Warren, I don't think there's any doubt that number 9, Marching On Together, would prefer it further, whereas Black Ball has won his only race over the distance.
Absolutely, and I'm of the opinion that Black Ball might be tough to beat. It was a 1200 last time. It was well documented that it was a run to tighten him up and bring him on, and it was a 1200 meter race. And Grab, it wasn't the worst effort. You know, these long distance horses over 1200, less than 5 lengths to hard to play, was actually a very good run. I'm sure Gavin Menzel was pleased. He was the fifth fastest finishing. Let me get that out correctly. And yeah, 1 from 1 over the distance. He's an 8-time winner. His form is solid. I think he's going to be the one to beat. But I've got huge respect. I know you haven't tipped Mount Anderson second. You've tipped it third. I think this horse you've got to be very careful of.
Mount Anderson, I think, is going to be a significant threat. Just going back to Black Ball, he is a multiple feature race winner. So in a sense, he's dropping in class, but he does have 60.5 to carry, whereas Mount Anderson only carries 54. So that's a significant weight difference. What is interesting for me when looking at the declarations is that number 7, Black Ball, has now been declared to run in a Cornell collar. Now, that normally suggests a problem or two. I'm not sure if he's raced in a Cornell collar before.
That I don't know.
I don't think he has. So I think it's the first time that number 7, Black Ball, is running with a Cornell collar. But let's not read too much into that. I think he remains the one to beat. Yes, you're absolutely right. I didn't tip Mount Anderson second. I gave my second vote to number 4, Shareholder. He's got to maintain that form. Yes. But, you know, Paul was quite strong in the view that he's come back to his best form. He's in a good space. He's enjoying the slide, given the ground. He's enjoying the turf. And could follow up on that victory over Native Tongue. That form in itself is probably not strong enough. So Shareholder is going to have to step up again.
Well, it might certainly be strong enough later on in the day when Native Tongue runs in that little feature. So, but Shareholder, to see him win so encouragingly last time was good, because they've always rated this horse.
You know, when a horse has that big a reputation as a young horse, at some stage in his career, that ability is going to come shining through. And now that he's found his confidence, now that he's finally found the winner's enclosure again after a very long absence from the winner's enclosure, maybe number 4, Shareholder, will continue to hold his form. But Black Ball sets the standard. Of that there is no doubt. My view, the principal threats are 4, Shareholder, and 8, Mount Anderson. I think Mount Anderson has the measure of number 2, New Stream, who will run another very genuine race. Of that, I'm absolutely sure.
Well, you've answered my question, because New Stream last time in a 97 handicap, I must confess I thought he had it all to do, and They backed him like they knew the result, and he won, thrashing Mount Anderson by a length. So he put me in my place, but he was impressive last time, and I think he's certainly one for trifectas and quartets here. But we both agree, Graham and I, Black Ball sets the standard, the best weighted. Graham's numbers are 7, 4, 8 and 2. I've gone 7, 8, 2 and 4. So we're pretty much the same. Black Ball for us, but we're expecting plenty of cheek from Mount Anderson and Paul Lafferty's shareholder.